Hey everybody, it's Joseph Shepard here, and I'm here with a brand new show. It's called Exposed After Dark, bringing you in some old exposed mixed with the after dark pleasure. And today we have the absolute honor and privilege of chatting with somebody who was down under. Somebody who got eliminated from Drag Race Season 1 of Down Under, and then they came back in some trash. And from there, we have Art Simone.
Exposed after dark with Joseph Shepard. With tonight's special guest, Art Simone.
I feel like you were performing in a eulogy for me. You're like, well, she lived, she died, she was brought back in trash, and here she is today.
You were like Jesus.
I think I was.
But before we get into it,
Yes.
I do have to show off my jacket because
Please do.
I'm doing this for each episode.
Thank you.
Small town weirdo. Amazing. Does a lot of horror movie paintings on the back of jackets. And today, let's
Show us. Oh, wow. Look how angry he looks. That's amazing. That's me when I was going through customs earlier. Anyway, hello.
Hello, and we match.
We do.
And then what are you wearing? Describe.
Oh, hello, here I am wearing a Tamara Claire Kane costume. I am a lovey-dovey Valentine sweetheart because I have no heart, so I thought I may as well wear one.
Did you get Valentines when you were younger?
That is not a thing.
It's not a thing?
My experience of Valentine's was that one episode of The Simpsons with the choo choo choose you thing, but I didn't understand what was going on. Did you deliver, you would write cards?
So what would happen
In
is
class?
that it would be class, and you would you could write them and do them yourselves, but then you could also go to the local store, and I would be like, oh my gosh, my favorite thing right now is Britney Spears. I'm
Right.
gonna buy Britney Spears Valentines.
When you say Britney Spears Valentine's, is that just like a gift card?
It's like, I'm gonna show you.
No, please. Because I don't really because I thought it was just, I don't know, as capitalism come in. Well, yes. Because I was watching a vlogger in America, and they were like, oh, I've got Hot Wheels ones. Like, but I feel what if the kids can't afford the Hot Wheel ones or the Britney Spears ones? What if they hand make them out of palm leaves at home? Do people judge them? Is that what happens? I don't know.
You would get okay. So here's
I still
an
can't
example.
believe that you don't wear school uniforms. That's
They would.
really.
So that's 10 different designs. They're
Oh, you
little
weren't making
cards.
that up. That is a thing you can get. I'm looking at beautiful headshots of Britney Spears.
Yes,
here.
and then they say Happy Valentine's Day. Hit me, baby, one more time.
Hope your Valentine's Day sings. Oh, wow.
And then you would write a message on the back of them.
Like, love you.
Yeah,
Slay. Thanks for being my friend.
Yeah, and then you might
I like
tape,
you more than the others.
Yeah, and then you might tape a piece of candy on it. And then you would pass them out
But
to your class.
I feel like that is a situation for a lot of letdown to a lot of unpopular people. Would the teachers go in and just fill up Valentine's?
No, they would force you to give them to everybody.
So everyone gets one.
Everyone gets one.
Well, that's lovely, though. I love participation awards. That's why I went on Drag Race.
Well, I want to talk to you about a few things. One, I was looking into your Instagram,
Oh, yes.
and I went back years and
Well,
years.
it's been going a while.
And years.
Yes.
What is your obsession with blue hair?
Oh, well, so the blue hair started, if we rewind back, I was like a straight A, school nerd, school captain. I wasn't allowed to have anything exciting as hair. So as soon as I turned 18 and left high school, I was like, let's dye it all the colors of the world. And I went boom, 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 boom. I was red, I was green, I was multicolored, I was like paddle pop hair, I was everything. And then I really liked blue. And I kept it because I've been doing drag since I was 16 years old. And the one thing that I could never really not cope with, that's a dramatic word, but the one thing that I noticed was I'd take all the makeup off and then I'd just be left looking really boring. So the blue hair was a little treat for me. So I could have my blue hair. And then the blue is slowly melted into my drag aesthetic. Says me wearing pink today, but I'm wearing blue this weekend, so.
Did it melt into your downstairs?
It's melted everywhere. It's melted. I've had to readjust my entire life for blue hair because your bedding turns blue, your towels turn blue, Your hands turn blue. Your jewelry turns blue. Your glasses turn blue. Everything turns blue. So I now live in a blue house with blue hair and blue balls. And that's where we are.
That should be the new song by Eiffel 65. I got a blue house and some blue balls. Just go right at it. You came out with a book.
I did. Life is Art by Art Simone, a drag queen's a guide to living a Technicolor life. Do you know I actually have a chapter all about my blue hair?
Do you really?
Yeah, and all the precautions that have to do with it. I also have a chapter about dating and relationships and how leaving smears of blue is not and glitter is not quite a helpful thing to do if you want to be, pump and dump. Anyway, yes, Life is Art. And you spoke about Instagram. And so I realized that the internet is going to self-destruct anytime. You know what I mean?
It just did.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I realized all my pictures, they're just on Instagram. I don't have any physical copies. So for years I did lots and lots of photography, and I've smattered all of them through this color-coded Technicolor guide to life.
And it's a color.
Yes.
That's extra money there.
It is. It's color. And
Nice paper.
look, the blue chapter is called Taming Trolls. There you go. Because I used to call, when I was sad, I'm going for a saltwater shower, which meant crying in the shower because your tears are salty. Anyway, so there's lots of helpful, fabulous things in there. And there's also a full chapter. You mentioned trash earlier. Mm-hmm. There's a full chapter all about trash and speaks in detail about my experience on RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under.
So you've had this out for what, the past year?
Yeah, it came out at the beginning of the year. Oh, no, like March.
So how does it feel the past few months? How is it feeling? What's the vibing?
It's great. It's print media is a legacy item. It's something physical. It's something you can be proud of. It's something that you can show to others. And it's so nice to have this. Like writing this was therapeutic and was very self-centered and just for me. So the fact that other people can get something out of it is even better. Yeah. A big thing of my drag journey has been bringing drag to places in regional parts of Australia where it's not experienced before, where there aren't safe spaces for queer people. And a lot of parents have messaged me to gift this to their kids. They're like, I read it before I gave it to them as well, because I talk about the relationship with my mother and what having a supportive family behind you can do for you. There's a lot of information about what it was like coming out around my mom, and a lot of parents have found that really interesting and knowledgeable. So it's great. People loving it. I'm loving it. It's here. It's heavy as well, and it looks pretty.
And you know what? When a book looks pretty,
yes,
you can get the book because you should judge it by its cover.
Exactly. And what an ugly dog.
There are multiple pictures that you have always put on Instagram. Mm-hmm. Splat. Why do you splat all the time?
Oh, my goodness.
And what makes you want to splat? Like, when I was going through your social media, I was like,
Splat.
oh my gosh, splat, 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 splat,
It's
splat,
tradition.
splat.
I still haven't brought out the splat calendar. I've been wanting to do it for years, but our splats get better every year. Mm-hmm. So I'm waiting till I have like the best 12 ever. But it started years ago. It started at DragCon LA. No, I think it was in New York, when they used to do them in New York. Mm-hmm. Like 2018, they started. And it was just a fun way to express myself, to show, the effort and exhaustion of being in drag for 20 hours. And it just became kind of an expected thing now. Like, we're here for, I don't know, is this dated? Am I allowed to say it's DragCon weekend?
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, so it's DragCon weekend. The amount of messages I had when people found out I was coming back, they're like, can't wait for the splat, can't wait for the splat. And I tell you what, I feel like we've done everything with the splat, but I'm happy to do more. I just have to lie on a carpet. Mm-hmm. We used to do them right at the end of the day when the lights were shutting down, and it became a full spectacle. But do you want a bit of insider goss?
Yeah, give me some insider
So
goss.
the green room at DragCon now has the same carpet as the pink carpet. So I just shoot them at the start of the day. so I actually do my end of the day splat at the start of the day. And wow, scandal.
You should do one the opposite way, where you're splatted on.
Oh, you want front? You want a
You
front
said you
facing.
wanted to mix it up. I was
You want
like,
a front facing?
Yeah, I think you should do a front facing for one.
Oh, well, I don't.
You could even throw something over your face.
Well, that would be preferable. But front facing, I don't want to look in the eye of the people that.
You don't have to. You can close your eyes.
Can we screen grab that?
Yeah, it's going to be screen grab.
Okay, good.
And you can put it on your Splat page.
Yeah, then I could compare it. Yeah. Well, I wanted to start a separate Instagram for the splats.
You should.
Should I? It can have all
You
three
can create an
followers.
OnlyFans for splats.
Only splats.
Only splats.
I don't know. Everyone, I tell you what, everyone's either like, I've got to pick up some more gigs, do OnlyFans, or move home. Which one is it?
Would you ever do OnlyFans?
Only splats. But I actually have a lot of friends that have OnlyFans, and they've never marketed that it's nudes or anything sexual. But people just like hope. So they pay to go through the paywall.
And then it's just awful.
Yeah, but it's like they like pay for it. And they're like, I don't have to put my nudes out there. They're paying for it. And I'm having a good time. And they pay in USD. And in Australia, you want everything to be paid in USD because it's like one USD is like $2 Australian.
So it's like,
Buy my merch.
see, I think you could do actually really well on OnlyFans. Mm-hmm. I could feel that.
How many fans?
Would you have?
It'd just be my mum. And she'd be like, I'm paying to support. I'm not looking though. I'm paying to support. I love what you do. I'm proud of you. But I'm not going to open it.
There are some drag queens who've been on Drag Race who have OnlyFans.
I mean, fucking like, who was like, was Sasha Bell like the first?
Yes.
Like she was the one that was like, fuck it, I'm going to do it. This is what I do. And power to her. Like
Sasha Bell, I know Gothy Kendall does it.
Yes.
Gothy's got a girthy guafu.
Yes, but she's also tiny.
Yes.
So you have to think of proportion.
And then there's the racist one that was from Down Under. She has one as well. Scarlett. Was her name Scarlett?
We don't speak mean of the dead.
I'm not, but was her name Scarlett?
I don't know. It's been 3 years. I'm trying to move on. Please. Why? And do you know what? It's been so many years that now, like, you know, the ones on Twitter, they're like keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
It's been so many years that they don't even remember who she was or what it was. So as soon as they see a Down Under queen, they're like, racist, because they think it's the other. Oh my God. Anyway, yes, she does. And you know what? Entrepreneurism.
She's got a nice dick. Sorry, but
Well, look, there you go. As long as it's.
there you go.
Nope, not saying that. As long as it's the right color. Anyway, okay.
All right. Well, on that note, we're going to take a break. When we get back, Art is going to spin the bottle to figure out what our next segment is going to be.
Exposed after dark with Joseph Shepard.
Do you know what my favorite thing to do after dark is? Sex. I said it. And now that I got you thinking about it, now that I got your attention, let's talk about Freddie, the #1 rated and most inclusive PrEP clinic. PrEP is a pill that you take daily and it reduces your risk of acquiring HIV. With Freddie, you can get your PrEP prescribed online, get it delivered to your door. It is discreet, so you don't have to worry about any of that. And it's also free for over 90% of Freddie patients. With 100% virtual consultations, you get your PrEP prescribed online and delivered to your door discreetly. I mean, what more can you ask for? Freddie even offers DoxyPep, which can be used to enhance STI prevention. So get started with Freddie's 1-minute PrEP questionnaire at gofreddie.com. That's GOFREDDIE.com to see if PrEP is right for you. And let's get back to the show, and you can think about what I'm doing after dark.
Exposed after dark with Joseph Shepard.
Womp, womp, womp. It's chocolate. And we're back with Art Simone.
Well, sometimes it's chocolate. It depends how long the water's been running.
That is true. That is true. Do you have a shower one?
No. I'm not very good with the connections of the, I don't want the plumbing. I don't know. Just keep it simple.
Yeah.
Douche.
Or as Miss Vanjie says, douche.
A douche. Little Liz Marine up there. You want a little, when they go down there. Okay.
Did you have the wild thornberries in Australia?
Yes.
I think Vanjie reminds me so much of Donnie.
Yeah.
And so I always want her to do Donnie for Halloween. I think she should because that's what her voice is.
That's true. No, I toured with Vanjie a couple of years ago or last year. I don't know, time. What is that? But I remember she came up to me and she goes, "That's a lot of glitter," and then walked off. And I was like, "Hi." It's like, "Do you not use glitter?" That's fine by me. But like, "That's a lot of glitter."
So basically,
I was like, "Okay, is that?"
Like, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Actually, it is, and I really like it.
After she was on season 10 and she got voted out that first episode,
Yeah,
and then she came back for 11. So that right after 11 film,
she stayed at 11.
What?
She's always at 11.
Yeah.
Never a 10.
Never a 10. Always
11.
It's always there. She hit me up and was like, "Hey, like I have this friend." It ended up being Silky. And she's like, "Do you want to go out and get some drinks?" And I was like, "Sure." And
Side note.
Yeah.
I first met Silky. I was performing in Chicago at Roscoe's, and it was pre either of us. It was me, Yuha, Silky, and we were on this night at Roscoe's, and I'd never worked with them before. We weren't on any Drag Race things. And she was so much fun, and she did the best numbers. And then when she was announced, I was like, "Is that?" And then there's me going through my drunk camera roll, and there's pictures of me and her sitting in that dressing room, drunk as a skunk. I was like, "Oh my God, I've shared the stage with the one and only Silky." So that was it was just a fun story. I put it in there. I don't know. That's what it's like, though. When you work in the industry,
I bet.
And then like we got another one. I was like, "I know you."
I worked with you 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
They both were fully out of drag. Silky ended up doing the splits multiple times. Vanjie wanted something a little bit more with me.
Yes.
And then it was...
Did you douche?
No.
Hey, you douche.
So it was months later. And
Yes.
she was on season 11. And I messaged her because I think it was like she did really good. It was the Britney Spears episode
Yes.
where she was doing the Church of Britney. Messaged her and I said, "Oh my gosh, you did so great. Congrats." And she sent back, she goes, "You should have fucked me when you had the chance." So that's what I always think about anytime I hear.
That's a lot of glitter. Okay.
See, we both have our own version.
Exactly.
You ready to spin the bottle?
Yes. I can't
Picks from the past.
What does that say? Pics.
Pics
Oh, okay.
from the past.
I thought you said dicks, but that's okay.
These are dicks, pictures of past dicks that you've been with, and you have to name who they are.
Amazing. Is all one of them there, or? No, I'm joking.
All right.
I'm being innocent.
First, I'm going to show you a picture, and I want you to tell me what you thought in this moment, what was going on, any stories about it. But
What?
this picture in particular,
No, but these can't all be of me.
they are all of you.
No, but they're all printed. What if it never landed on that? Would you have
I
wasted?
just had it. Yeah.
Would you have wasted
Yes.
all of that?
This show is all by chance. I spent so much time on this.
If this turns around and it's not a picture of me, I'm gonna feel jumped. All right.
All right. I want to know why have you worn this outfit so many times?
I mean, it's beautiful because the tea behind this. I first made this. I was on an episode of The Bachelor, and they wanted me to run an art class for all the girls, all the ladies, and it was one of my first experiences of reality TV. It was wild. I had a full earwig in where the producer was like whispering and telling me what to say. I had to interview the girls, and they're like, "You're about to do a mirror moment." So the girls are going to come in one by one to do a mirror moment, and we need to make them cry. And I was like, "Okay." So they come in, and the producer's like, "All right, ask her about this, ask her about this, ask her about this." And these girls, it was like midway through the season, they were so whipped into perfection in that they were like, they could all see it. And they were like,
Yeah.
"Well, I was working on a farm and now I'm here and I want love." And I was like, Also, have you used an earwig before? Do you know how hard it is to have a conversation
I love
with
that
someone?
you're saying an earwig because to me, an earwig is that little insect that gets in your ear and can't get
That's
out.
why they're called that.
Oh, I
Because the
didn't know
earwig
that.
gets like the little
like
headset thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because it's like that big, has one tiny little antenna. Where I'm from, Australia, they call them earwigs because they're like an earwig. Anyway, and it was my first experience delivering lines and pretending to be in a conversation with someone while there's someone having a full other conversation in your ear. Wow, it was so much fun. I felt so manipulative. Anyway, wore it for that. And then I wore it for DragCon because The Bachelor hadn't aired yet.
Yeah.
So
there
I was
a
like,
video of you walking through the metal detector at DragCon.
exactly. So I wore it for that. And then when it came to Drag Race and Under, so in the history of Drag Race, traditionally there has been a photo shoot on the first episode, whether it's water, sausages, like shit, anything could happen. And I was like, well, I'm going to wear something there's remarkably me and distinctly me. And then if it gets destroyed, I don't care.
Yeah.
So I walk in, do that, and then we do all the entrances and they go, all right, now we're going to shoot the promo. Me the entire time being like, but it's an old outfit. It's old. I've got a suitcase filled with new things. I thought it was going to be Bogan Prom as our thing. What is going on? We were all very mad because you try to be strategic, but that's what curveballs are for.
Well, RuPaul wasn't even in that season. He was just
That was going to be my two lies.
I still can't get over it. Also, like, I don't know how small your workroom is, but I'm pretty sure it was this size.
Yes.
Were you shooting in the caravan?
When I walked in, did my entrance, and then I was the first one in, and I go, where's the rest of it? Because I'd been to DragCon before. Remember the year they put the workroom in DragCon?
Yes.
So I'd seen the size, I'd seen the space. I was like, yeah, that's what I was expecting. I'd been quarantined for 27 days, amped up for this thing. And then I walk in and I'm like, where the fuck's the rest of it? And then I was like, because I think too much. I was like, there was once a season of Big Brother in Australia where they had the house, but they split it in half.
Okay.
And they removed a wall halfway through the season. So I was like, maybe there's another workroom.
They should do that.
I know, it should be quite fun, right? I was like, maybe there's a whole other half of the workroom and the other girls are on the other side. It never happened. Anyway, so I wore that a lot, but I like it.
It's cute.
Yeah, actually, the Art Gallery of South Australia has just acquired that to put on for an exhibition. The most
trash?
used drag costume. Yeah. In television history. Oh my God, Draculas! I write all about Draculas in my book.
Let's talk about this moment. What are you
Thank
feeling?
you.
What's the
So,
vibe?
I started playing with makeup and drag in high school, and there's a venue in what used to be in Melbourne called Dracula's Cabaret, and I went there as a teenager. It's horror-themed cabaret.
Okay.
All the wait staff are vampires. Everyone's vampires. There's a ghost train inside the restaurant. It's ridiculous. So much fun. Horror props everywhere. So I was like, when I'm 18, I'm going to work at Dracula's. And I did. But when I started there, I wasn't doing drag. I was Anthrax. That was my name. Scandalous. I was a boy character. And then a few months in, I was like, went up to the office and I was like, excuse me, could I do drag? And I was so petrified. I literally brought this one with me, Brit, to be my friend, to be like, no, you go.
Okay.
I even brought a wig to show them. And they went, yeah. I was like, oh, okay. So then, this is me at Dracula's very early on at Dracula's Cabaret, where I was doing drag 6 nights a week towards the end. I then moved in to be on the stage show there. And that was really where I cut my teeth in the world of drag. Prior to this, I was there till the first few years I was there. I'd never set foot in a queer venue except for once at the Greyhound Hotel in St Kilda when I saw RuPaul perform live. Her last ever, she did a Mardi Gras show and then did a little tour around Australia. And I saw her at a last ever live drag performance, and I went in drag. And my name was Scabatha at the time because I was working at Dracula's. That was my female name. And I got up on stage to do let's get the fat girls up. Do you want to walk the runway and we'll interview you? And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So I'm walking down there in my purple sequin dress. And because I was obsessed with Lady Gaga, so I had pleasers that were, those 14-inch disgusting ones. I was like, yeah, I got it. And then the host goes, Anne, what's your name? I'm like, Scabatha. and then I got off the stage and she comes up to me and she goes, don't use that name again. And it actually turns out because her name was Tabitha Turlington. So it was a two-pronged pointer.
Well, I would have told Tabitha Turlington that she needs to change her name too.
No, because Tabitha Turlington taught me the greatest piece of advice. Simone, never waste a good face. And what she meant by that, what I took by that was, well, if you got your makeup on, take some photos, go do another gig, go over there, do a show. No, she was talking about turning tricks. So like after your gig, go and earn some extra money on the corner of Grey Street. But valuable information.
Did you ever do that?
I never wasted a good face, and I'll leave it at that statement.
All right. Well, speaking of good faces, we are going to get into this moment with your blue hair.
Oh my God, that's me and Brian and Tro. Yeah. That's it, me. Oh, sorry, that's Jack, Tro, Brian. Yeah.
Describe this moment for me. What is happening?
Okay,
How's
so
the vibe? How are these two?
great. I was. Why was I here?
Also, he is really, really, really cute. I follow him on
Yes.
Instagram.
Yeah, that's the official Tro, at the official Tro, everyone.
Oof.
He is also one of the ones that has an OnlyFans with nothing sexy on it.
Well, thank you for saving me that money.
Yes, he just posts pictures of him in underwear in his greenhouse at our house. He installed a greenhouse. I let him swap the pizza oven for a greenhouse. We bought a house together. He's my house husband.
Do you house husband each
I just
other?
gave you a lot of information.
Does he house husband?
Oh no, with separate bedrooms on different floors.
But have you ever?
Two incomes.
Uh-huh.
Because of the cost of living crisis in Australia.
Have you ever?
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Have you ever seen?
Oh no. Never. Why would you? That's rude. He's like a brother.
Well, anytime I've had a roommate, there's always been like a time where I want to
Oh
see.
no,
I
we're
wanna
very
see.
private people. Yes. So yeah, two separate floors, two cats and a bearded dragon.
A bearded dragon.
Let's not talk about his hyperfixations.
Wait. Okay.
The ADHD is really strong in that man.
And mine's going strong right now.
Yeah.
I have a question. So I
Can I, before you say anything,
Yeah.
when he finally got the bearded dragon, we had a lot of discussions because he wanted a snake first. And I said, I don't want anything that will eat a cat because we have two cats. So we got the bearded dragon and he set it all up and built all these things. And then like 2 days later, he brings it out and he goes, doesn't do very much. And I go, what did you think?
it just looks a lot cooler than what it is.
They literally do. They do nothing. There is nothing going in those heads. But your story, yes?
So
Speaking of going nothing.
for the longest time,
Yes.
I have always wanted to be in the presence of a kangaroo.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know why, but it's just something that like I've never seen one in real life because we don't have them in zoos here. Or we
Really?
don't have them. Yeah, they're in like certain
Yeah,
ones,
yeah,
but not like
it'd
right
have
cities.
to be like a wildlife sanctuary vibe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I was talking to et cetera, last DragCon or the DragCon
Mm-hmm.
before, she mentioned that I should not be excited for
No.
them and that they're actually very dangerous
Yes.
and that they drown babies.
I think they drown their own babies.
So what's the craziest thing that you've seen about a kangaroo?
So if you get the alpha males, you
Mm-hmm. The
probably
one with the muscles?
yes. And that is not just like a freak one
Really?
No, that's not just like a 1 in 1,000. There's lots of them like that. They're terrifying. And so like I was saying earlier, I do a lot of regional tours and shows. So I'm on the road all the time. And you have to watch out for kangaroos. And they will fuck your car up. It's crazy. My great aunt, I was like, oh my God, I almost hit a kangaroo on the way here. She's like, oh, well, I'll get you something. And she got me these two little like laser things from the dollar store. And I was like,
What does that do?
literally, but peace of mind. What does that do? Is
I
what
don't know what it
Brian's
does.
saying there. Yes, I'm actually single-handedly the reason my Trixie needs a break. She saw me and she said, oh God, I'm sick of this shit. But no, this is a fun time. The official Tro and I were in LA. That's the same weekend I did a Paint Me Bitch with Willem. It was a very fun time.
I think you and Willem have a very similar demeanor. Have you ever heard that?
No?
I think I'm meaning by like the way that you accentuate your lips. Like, yes, those moves.
Well,
those
maybe
moves
because
are
we're
similar.
glittery girls. And she likes a little bit of glitter and I like it too. And I like to show
And you
off.
also love like a little bit of like drama. You may not want to admit that you cause it, but you may like it.
Drama may follow me. And drama may be a part of my career. But I've never instigated such thing.
On that note, we're going to take a break. When we get back, Art is going to spend the bottle again.
Oh no! Have you got more cards?
Exposed after dark with Joseph Shepard.
Well, we are back.
Thank you for the blue straw, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to match your blue hair.
Thank you. It tastes.
Do you have blue hair right now?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
I could take off my wig, but maybe later.
I actually think that could actually mix really well.
Yeah, but I'm not taking it off.
No, I don't want you to take it off. I want you to spin the bottle.
Okay. Special segment that has a nice flow to it.
In this special segment,
Yes.
you will be asked after dark questions. Can I get your consent to ask these
You
questions?
can ask me questions. I cannot give you the consent that I may answer them appropriately, but
Okay.
anything is possible.
Do you have a sex playlist?
I don't. I usually just go, hey Siri. Oh, sorry if you're listening to this on speakers. Hey Siri, play sexy music. Or do you know this? There was only one album that I ever classed as like something sexy, because someone played it when we were doing the
sexy,
deed,
yeah.
and it was Christine and the Queens, and who's like a French artist. They've now come out as a trans man. So this was years ago, but they have like their debut album, very sexy. Imagine a French person singing beautiful like lo-fi things. It was actually quite lovely. I actually finished the deed and Shazammed it before I left. I was like,
You know what? Shazamming a sex playlist song. Mm-hmm. That's
bucket list item.
Iconic.
Can't wait for Mum to try and work out what all those terms mean.
I
Hey
think-
Jackie, so Shazamming, what is that? Love her.
I think the only song that I love is Motivation by Kelly Rowland.
Look, the thing is, it depends what you're in for.
True.
You want soft and sensual, or do you want timing? Do you want like, are we doing like a Barry's? Do you have Barry's Fit? No. Soul Cycle.
Berries?
Do you have Barry's?
I do berries.
Well, there you go. Do you want a Barry's moment, or do you want a, walking down, blazing the donut?
Well,
Yes.
what is your worst hookup story?
I mean, the worst ones are just the ones where I've left before anything's happened.
Does that happen often?
Do not turn this into something like a bit more empowering. No one should ever be afraid to be like, you know what, this is not for
Oh,
me.
yeah, 100%.
And I only learned that a bit later in life where I was like, I actually don't have to do this.
Yeah.
I don't have to be like, and there's been many situations where I've walked in and either they don't look like what they're meant to look like, or they have definitely been awake for more than a week, or they have lied. One sleep. We have this saying where we go, one sleep till Mardi Gras. If someone's been awake for far too long, we're like, oh, it's only one sleep till Mardi Gras. Or they have clearly lied about not knowing anything about me. There was one guy that came around to our house and pretended he didn't know anything about me. And at the previous house I had, the layout wasn't as good as it is now, where you had to walk past my drag room to then like get into the house. And he walks in and he goes, oh my God, I remember when you wore this with this and you saw that with that and this with this. And oh my God, it's amazing. Oh my God, I'm seeing this in person. Oh, it's so much more sparkly. And I said, I'm going to have to ask you to go. I think I've got tummy problems now. Sorry. Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm feeling a bit sick.
And then he became your biggest troll online.
Well, I've been in a house and it smells. Yeah, so that's probably an amalgamation of the worst experiences. I don't have any real horror stories in terms of doing the deed or anything. It's more just, I'm a vibe person.
Yeah.
If
But
I'm-
that's good that you do that.
Yes.
Because I feel like it's a very common thing that you just feel like you're trapped.
Yeah, and you just go with it. You
just go with it.
All right, here we go. It's either that or the limp dick like race chasers. Because the problem is what happens is you then go, it's me. It's me.
That's the worst. When
It's
you get in
me.
your head,
But no, it's them.
it's them.
Yeah.
What are the top 3 things that make someone great at sex?
Oh, communication.
Okay.
passion, and humor. Because sex is funny. It's awkward. It's uncomfortable. It's weird. You know when, like, to be able to laugh at the right moments. Because you're like, what are we doing right now?
Yeah.
Like, what? Why are we?
It's like, why is this?
Why are we standing outside?
Do you
now?
have those
This is so
moments,
random. Why are we
though?
outside?
Wait,
What?
do you have ADHD?
No.
I think that's a lie. So your mind's very scattered though sometimes, right? No?
Oh, of course.
Of course. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
ADHD.
no. No, I've had Dexies that don't do anything.
Do you ever like do you ever like
Oh, do you have Dexies? You're Adderall. No, what do you?
Adderall?
Oh, no, we have Dexies.
What is Dexies?
Dexamphetamine.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that's what we get treated with, Dexies.
Have you been treated?
I
with
haven't
that?
had an Adderall, though. But I've been, anyway. Sorry, Mum. It's humor. I'm using humor. All right. Anyway, dexamphetamine. Yeah. That's what it's
So
called.
ADHD.
Scattered brain.
Do you ever like when you
Leave
are
your body.
doing things?
Mm-hmm.
Does your mind ever wander somewhere completely differently?
Yeah.
And then you're like out of it.
Well, you got to be sometimes. Sometimes it's fun to be. You're like, I'm getting human connection, but I'm also not.
Yeah.
What's your name? No idea. You know, you just go, this is great. We should do this again. Walk out the door, block.
Mm-hmm. You block them right away.
Oh, you got to. Oh, they screenshot.
Do you not get scared that you're going to see them again?
No, in case they screenshot. When you said, I really like you. I didn't really like them. Oh, you're so beautiful. You're not really beautiful. White lies.
Are you dating? Do you have somebody?
I've got 2 cats and a bearded dragon.
Okay. One that you're not impressed with.
Exactly. I'll let you work out which one it is.
So
I'm not. No, I'm not.
Do you date? Do you like dating?
Touring, traveling, working,
It's
being
like
a
no.
crazy. It's like who is your target demographic? Who are the people that can sink in with that?
Mm-hmm.
And if you can, they're lying.
Yeah.
So maybe one day when I'm settled down and old and ugly, when I'm old, I'm already ugly. I'm already old. Maybe one day it'll happen. But I'm here to live my life. I'm not living my life for anyone else. And if someone magically fits into that, good for them.
That's a good thing.
Wouldn't that be lucky for them? Imagine being able to experience this gorgeousness
Art Simone.
every single day. Imagine being like, oh, you look just like a picture. And I'd go, I actually do. Life is Art by Art Simone. Buy it now. Am I winning the branding challenge? Oh my God.
I think you are. I think we're going to keep, I'm going to keep putting this in all the time. I'm going to cut these clips and I'm just going to keep inserting it into random
Well, do you want to know the
moments.
scandal? You can't even buy this in Australia at the moment.
Why?
Because the publisher that produced it has gone bankrupt and they're waiting. They have all the stock. They have all the stock in a warehouse. And because they're going through like managerial changes, no one in Australia can get the book. Except for the stock that I have, which is like 30 copies, because I was like, oh, well, they're at the warehouse. I'll get more when I need them.
And you brought me mine.
Pardon?
You brought me mine.
No, this is yours.
Oh, thank you.
I actually did bring this for you. And in the US, they have some. So they've got the international retailers have them. Brio books. They do. But Australia, they literally, you can't get it. It's fucked.
So they have
Imagine
your
bringing out your
stock
debut
of books.
book and your stock is held ransom. I've been trying to do the ultimate art heist and try and like break in and steal my fucking books. That's my life.
That should be the
What
next.
happens if they burn them?
That should be the next challenge on Drag Race Down
Break
Under,
into a-
hosted by Michelle Visage now.
Yes. Well, I'll pitch it for season 5.
Can I tell you that I feel like every girl that's on season 4 is very mad because they didn't know till they got there.
They did know.
They did?
No, they did. So the rumor was fully out because they actually advertised it. They took RuPaul's name off. So everyone had an inkling,
yeah.
but they didn't know. And I've heard whispers from anonymous sources. People on the cast. No, they knew before they went. They said, before we sign you up, we just want to let you know. Da, 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 da. And I think they all had a great time. Whoever they are.
Do you think that Courtney Act would have done well
On Down Under?
if she was the host? Because a lot of people were mad
like
that
competing.
Because a lot of people
I don't see
were
her
mad.
in a shed in New Zealand. What the fuck?
No, a lot of people were mad that she was not, but I know that she has issues with Wow. So
I don't know anything about those issues, but Courtney is an Australian legend. She paved the way for people like me to do what I do. And it would only make sense to have someone like that to judge, host, and determine what the next drag superstar in Australasia looks like.
Yeah.
She would have done an amazing job. There's no denying that. Not one single person's going, I don't know about her.
Yeah.
Like, she would have done an incredible job. But also, on the flip side, to have the eyes, I mean, I can only speak from my experience, which was season 1, and to have the eyes of the world, because RuPaul was there, was very beneficial for someone like me. So I enjoyed seeing RuPaul sit in a shed in New Zealand underneath a flight path where every 5 minutes she had to go, hold for planes. And you're standing there. Or the day it rained.
was that loud?
Oh, girl. It was the headpiece runway. It rained all day, and we were standing waiting for like the little breaks in rain.
Stop.
And then that's why everyone's like, why when you came back after deliberations did you not all have your headpieces on? Because we'd been wearing them for like 6 hours by that point. And they were very heavy. So, yeah, I think I could, from my experience having RuPaul there and the eyes that RuPaul brings was amazing.
Yeah. And
But
you also were the first season of a new franchise. And also at the time where there were not 10 million franchises.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm so grateful that I was on the season that I was on at the time I was on. It all made sense for my journey. Ew, what a gross word. But for where I wanted to be and where I wanted to go, like, it was a wonderful experience to be on the first season with Ru during lockdowns where no one was leaving the house. So all they had to do was turn on a TV, and they wanted to. With that, though, brought a lot of negative critiques and criticism and hate mail and whatever. But now that it's been a few years, I can look back on that. I don't even remember any of that.
Yeah.
I just remember all the great things. And I still remember that, you know, I can walk into place. Like, I literally got off a plane and people were like, oh, it's Simone, oh, it's Simone. I'm like, we really reached a lot of people, whether they liked it or not.
I want to ask you, because I just feel like I want to. You were kind of, in my interpretation, a staple at World of Wonder before you were on. You had your own show. You were known. You were expected to be the first crown queen.
I don't think I was expected to be the first crown queen. No, not at all. Not at all. And I didn't get that vibe when I walked onto set at all either. I was there to be celebrated, and I was there to have a good time, and I was there to use the platform for what I needed to. But I don't think I was meant to be the first crown queen at all.
Were you shocked when you were eliminated? Like, were you actually
the first time? Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, it was. It's in the tapes. Everything you see, the elimination you see in the workroom when I come back, that's my raw, honest, real reaction. And the main reason was because my story producer had been building me up. Like, the first day I got there, she's like, oh, I'm so glad I got you. Like, I'm so excited. We're going to get to because they all have little competitions with the story producers. So they all have like 3 or 4 girls each. And she's like, oh, thank God I got you. Like, blah, blah, blah. And was all like, you know, I know this now because I'd never had a proper story producer before in my life. And she was building me up. And then she was the one who was interviewing me the day in the workroom where I like said my infamous lines. And she switched on me and she's like, I'm so disappointed in you. What is everyone going to think? You were going to be here till the end. What happened? You were meant to be here till the end. What is everyone going to think about that? Wow. Well, I guess I'm out of the race, blah, 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 blah. And then that's why I spat whatever came out of my mouth, which
It's actually iconic.
It's iconic. And it's one of the first examples of someone being real.
And I'm the strongest one here.
You were here.
That means nothing. I will never be out of this town. Ever.
We're expected to be like, hi, thank you for the opportunity. No, if you've spent, at that point, how old was I? I was 28, 29. So it'd been like a decade, 10 years of my life wanting to be on that show and to show what I could do. And on episode 2, being eliminated, it was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And especially, whatever. We can talk about edits and whatever, but that's why I reacted in the moment. And I'm actually proud of the way I reacted because I think it was a great shell shock moment to show people that this actually is people's lives. It's their livelihoods. It's their career. It's their passion. Watching you lose that in front of your eyes, it's okay to be upset.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being upset.
But I think that that's what's missing in a lot of recent Drag Race seasons. It's like,
They're also
where's
so
the personability?
Scared. They're scared.
They're afraid of social media.
Yeah.
They're afraid of getting hit down.
And I get it. You have to be a tough fucking cookie to be able to deal with every single person's opinion. And there's like, prior to being on the show, I'd done some amazing campaigns and things where I've been exposed to a larger platform, right? And by a larger platform, I mean people that aren't there for me. So we have the AFL Grand Final, which is our sports ball.
Okay.
Traditionally straight audience, biggest telecast in the country. And I was in a ad campaign where it was me and I was broadcast in the middle of the grand final. I guess it's like the Super Bowl for you, right? Sorry. Oodles of hate, constant hate. But it's funny because I don't care about it. It was like, oh, you're fucking homo. Oh, you're going to die in hell. I don't care. But it's like as soon as you get on Drag Race, they make it personal. Mm-hmm. And it's like, why are you getting joy out of being like, what does your mother think of you? Your mother lives here. She does this. Like, what? Like, what? It's weird. And we're in this world where gossip and hate has become a currency. Yeah. And it's become, well, I'm going to say so many horrible things until they block me. And then I can post a screenshot being like, blocked. Isn't that wild? It's weird.
It is weird because people just want that attention. Yeah. Whether it's good or bad, they want it.
Yeah.
I also love calling. Do you ever call people out? Like if somebody's like, oh my gosh, I hate you because of X, Y, and Z. And then you comment and then they're like, oh no, I never meant that.
My favorite thing. And I'd be like, so when I was in the heat of it, I can look back and be like, I look back now, I'm like, it was nothing. But to me, it was everything. It was also during COVID, Melbourne had gone into a massive lockdown. So I couldn't leave my house. I couldn't go to gigs, couldn't see the people that were watching. All I got was my notifications. Yeah. Terrible way to endure a season. And I would call them out. And I would literally write like, you've made me feel this way. Like, that's not very nice. Like, because of your words, this is the way I'm feeling and what I want to do. Not like that, but whatever. And they're like, no, I was just saying my opinion, but I actually really love you. I love everything and slay the world away and da-da-da. What? So, but that was a really big learning experience for me where I'm like, oh, they don't care. And I've worked in a lot of media post-Drag Race, and the biggest lesson that I've learned is it's okay for people to hate you. It's okay for people to love you as long as they feel something about you. Mm-hmm. The worst place to be is in the middle. They don't recognize you. They don't care. They're not invested. So I'm happy, and I'm really polarizing. And that's something I've learned is that people either love me or they hate me. They're thinking of me regardless. So thank you. Buy my book. Life is Art. And you can read where I wrote all about. Actually, there's a chapter about not reading the comments and taming.
That's smart.
And taming trolls. So are you a troll?
As we're on this Drag Race topic, my last question of this, and then we're going to get into your 2 lies and a truth.
Yes.
But I want to know from you. You have mentioned before in different aspects of interviews or whatever that there was a lip sync with you and Coco Jumbo.
Well, that was going to be one of my lies, but I'll go into it. Yes. It was.
So I want to know from you, like, was that the reason you were brought back?
No.
What was, because it was annoying as a fan.
Can I clear up the timeline? I mean, you can clear up the timeline in my book, Life is Art, where I actually go step by step in what happened during my elimination and regurgitation. No. So, episode 2, eliminated. All right. I get bumped out of the cast hotel, pack everything up, do my exit interviews, flight booked back to Australia. It's during COVID, so flights weren't daily. You had to book one in advance. So I've been moved to an Airbnb in Auckland, separated from everyone. So eliminated, stayed at the cast hotel, moved to the Airbnb the next day, that night. So that's episode 3, part 1, where they get their next challenge. I got a call saying, Rue wants you back. Do you want to come back? Of course I do. You've had your life like ripped away from you. Of course you want to come back. And I was like, I've got these beautiful outfits. I want to show them. And then I finished the phone call and then I sent a text message and I go, what is the reason for me coming back? Because the girl's going to be asking and everyone's going to be asking, like, so I can say, like, is it a wild card? Is it this? Is it that? And they just go, no, it's Drag Race. These things happen. And the next message just said, Rue's going to say, one person's trash is another person's treasure, and then you jump out.
One man's treasure is another queen's trash. Someone's a trash.
And then you're back. I'm like, yeah, but what's the reason? They're like, there is no reason. It's Drag Race. So I was already pre-predicting in that moment that people would have questions.
Yeah.
And I didn't actually even know if I was on borrowed time, like whether I was just there for a stunt and they'd like get rid of me. So I was like, I want to know, like, so I can at least. I was like, because if you want me to play it up and you want to be extra secretive, I can be. Like, that's the fun, right? So even when I came back, they're like, why are you back? And I was like, I don't know. But I literally didn't know, except for the words that Rue wants you back. That was the first ever thing that was said to me on the phone. Rue wants you back. And that was it. So I don't know. It's a mystery. Like, it's mysterious. I don't know the full. I've had 3 years to think about it. And all I can think of is they were trying to do something scandalous. And they did. They did.
They really did.
Imagine if they didn't have the other scandal, this would be like an iconic scandal. But instead they had another one which kind of like added to the pile and it turned into a negative thing. But I think perhaps in an alternate universe, maybe without the other scandal involved with the season, this would have just been like a camp one. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't care anymore. I'm so grateful that I got asked to be back. Like, I'm so grateful that I got to go back.
No, I feel that. I think that it just did you a disservice for there not to be a reason.
Exactly. It did. And it's the number one question. I almost was going to pay $50 to do a meet and greet with RuPaul this weekend.
Oh, I am. I'll ask for you.
And I was like, just so I can ask and be like, hey, Ru, why did I come back? And she'd be like,
who are you?
No, whoever's with her would have been like,
I'm short.
All right. And she'd be like, I wouldn't know who I am. Fucking hell. She's met how many queens?
I think it's so funny.
I don't know how she does it.
I don't either.
I don't even, like, I meet people that I met last week and I'm like, lovely to meet you. How the fuck can she do it?
No idea.
Like, that's another thing that people always ask me. They go, what's Ru like? What was it like being with RuPaul? After they get past the green screen allegations. And I'm like, she is one of the most professional, intelligent, and talented media personalities I've ever worked with. Mm-hmm. Because, of course, she's not going to remember the names. I've been doing a podcast for 3 seasons, and my producer would be like, oh, like something about one of the guests, and I was like, I don't know who that is. Like, oh. And she's like, oh, the fortune teller. I was like, oh, yeah, Kate, the fortune teller, but I don't know the name. Yeah. So like, and especially when you add traveling across the world to 3 different countries,
doing multiple,
it's ridiculous. Like, so, and seeing one of the biggest things that only me will ever get to, and the girls that I was with that get to experience. And these flashbacks I have is to watching her work. Mm-hmm. And watching her work was one of the most incredibly inspiring things I've ever done. Her delivering her like promo lines and everything lines to the camera in just a break. She's like, all right, we're like resetting for this. So I'm going to bash out like, watch Drag Race Down Under on Crave, on Stan, on Netflix, on Wow Presents Plus. And she delivered every single line perfectly. I was like, fuck. Like, people give her shit for being like, oh, when the cameras aren't rolling. It's like, of course, like, why would you do anything when the cameras aren't rolling? Like, you want to capture the magic.
Yeah. You need it on the camera.
Exactly. So, and then that's why I think why you cherish the little moments between takes where she was like in a fun, playful mood, and she'd like banter with you and everything. But I never expected it. I never wanted it. And yeah, just being in the same room and seeing, like, I made a joke and I was like, oh, she's literally like a animatronic at Disneyland. Where it's like when the cameras are on, she's like bang, 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 bang. But when there's a flight, like a plane going over or this is going on, of course she's going to be like, reserve your energy, bitch. You're about to fly to the UK and film another 50 million episodes. So, love her. Love her. Will she know who I am? I don't know. Maybe one day. Maybe this weekend. Maybe she'll go, who's that weird bitch over there with the blue hair? And they'll go, Art Simone. She's like, what's art? So, art. I don't know. I don't care. It's lovely.
Well, on that note, it's time for you to play Two Lies and a Truth. What's going to happen is Art Simone is going to give 2 lies and 1 truth. And next episode, we are going to figure out which was the truth. Art, are you ready?
All right. First statement.
Okay.
I did my own dental work in preparation for Drag Race Down Under Season 1. I hooked up with one of my Season 1 castmates. Or I got my lips plumped prior to the season.
Well, let us know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think it's option 1, 2, or 3? Also, make sure you guys subscribe, like, comment, and all of that good stuff. Show Art some love. Art, where can they find you on the socials?
You can find me at artist_, just search Art Simone, but also buy Life is Art by Art Simone. It's available internationally, and there's a couple of copies left in Down Under until the warehouse sorts out their shite.
Well, until next time, I'm Joseph Shepard. You can find me at Joseph A. Shepard. This has been Art Simone, and it has been Exposed After Dark.